The unthinkable has happened, and this time it might end everything Spice has built. Overnight. The self-proclaimed queen of dancehall and breakout star of love and hip-hop, Atlanta went from unstoppable to unraveling. After explosive leaked footage surfaced online, footage so damaging, so raw, that fans, industry, insiders, and even her closest friends are questioning whether her career can survive the fallout. Was it sabotage? A setup? Or has Spice finally been exposed by her own words and actions? Betrayal, backstabbing, and broken trust. This is the kind of scandal that destroys reputations and rewrites legacies. And in Spice's case, the stakes couldn't be higher. One leaked video is threatening to tear down years of blood, sweat, and hustle. And the drama behind it runs deeper than anyone could have imagined. From shocked cast reactions to furious fan backlash, this isn't just another messy moment, it's a career crisis. Get ready, because what you're about to see is the raw, unfiltered truth behind the scandal shaking reality TV to its core. This is the story of how one woman's empire began to crumble, and how the people around her may have played a bigger role than anyone expected. Chili, you are not ready for this one. The tea is scalding hot, the drama is real, and the fallout, baby, it's nuclear. Because overnight, one of the biggest names in love and hip-hop, Atlanta went from being the queen of controversy to the queen of chaos. That's right, Spice, the dancehall diva turned reality TV powerhouse, is in the fight of her career after explosive leaked footage surfaced online. And let's just say, this ain't the type of clip you can sweep under the rug. It all started with what was supposed to be a regular night. A wrap party for the upcoming season. Cameras were down, cast members were letting loose, and Spice, she was in rare form. Dressed head to toe in royal blue, dripping in diamonds. She looked every bit the superstar she spent years becoming. But behind that confident smile, something was brewing, and honey, the world was about to see it uncut. Just after midnight, a 2-minute clip began spreading like wildfire on social media. At first, fans thought it was a fan-captured moment or a behind-the-scenes blooper. But within seconds, it was clear this was no accident. The footage showed Spice in a verbal meltdown of epic proportions, screaming at castmates, exposing dirty secrets, and calling out names nobody ever expected to hear. And she wasn't holding back at all. "You fake as hell." She screamed at one co-star. "You've been riding my wave since day one, and now you think you can replace me." Then, in a jaw-dropping moment that sent the internet into a frenzy, she turned her fury toward someone fans thought she was cool with. "Don't act like you're innocent. I know what you did. I know what all of y'all did. And I got the receipts." The room went silent. You could hear a pin drop. Spice wasn't just venting. She was detonating bombs one name at a time. And every word was caught in crystal clear audio. Within hours, the video had racked up over 5 million views on Twitter alone. Hashtags like #SpiceExposed, #SpiceMeltdown, and #LHHATL scandal were trending worldwide. Fans flooded the comments, torn between disbelief and betrayal. "This can't be real," one wrote. "I've never seen her like this." Another was harsher. "Her career is done. No way she comes back from this." But here's where the story gets even messier. According to insiders, the footage wasn't some random leak, it was uploaded intentionally. Word on the street is that someone from inside the love and hip-hop circle wanted Spice taken down. And they knew this clip would do the job. That video didn't just walk out of production on its own. One producer allegedly said, "Somebody wanted blood." And the fallout was immediate. Sponsors began reviewing their partnerships. A luxury brand, Spice, had just signed with reportedly pulled out within 24 hours. Even VH1's social media team went radio silent, quietly deleting promo posts featuring her name. For Spice, who built her career on being loud, unfiltered, and unapologetic, this was different. This wasn't a storyline. This wasn't shade thrown in a confessional. This was raw, real, and damaging. The queen of controversy had always been able to bounce back from drama. But this time fans weren't sure she could. Some blamed the pressure of fame. Others said years of feuds and fake friendships finally boiled over. But there was another theory brewing in the comments that this meltdown wasn't just about anger. It was about betrayal. Rumors swirled that Spice had been stabbed in the back by someone she trusted. And the footage was her breaking point. Whatever the reason, one thing is clear. The leak changed everything. Spice's carefully crafted image, the fearless queen who could handle anything, now looked fragile. And the people who once cheered her on were suddenly questioning if they ever really knew her at all. But if you think this was just a one-night scandal, think again. Because part one, that's just the spark. What came after the video dropped, the betrayal, the backlash, and the bombshell accusations was far worse than anyone imagined. And trust me, baby, the next chapter of this saga is where the real tea starts spilling. If you thought the footage itself was shocking, buckle up, because how it got out is even more explosive than what's in it. In the hours after Spice's meltdown went viral, the internet was in full meltdown mode of its own. Fans couldn't stop replaying the clip. Blogs were dissecting every word, and the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast. They were scrambling not just to do damage control, but to figure out who had just blown up Spice's career from the inside. At first, everyone thought it had to be a hacker. Maybe some shady blog had gotten lucky and slipped into VH1's archives. But insiders quickly shut that theory down. This wasn't some stolen file from the cloud. This was raw backstage footage, never meant to leave the editing room. That meant one thing and one thing only. The leak had to come from someone inside the circle, and Chile. That's when the finger-pointing began. The first name whispered in the shadows. A former close friend and rumored frenemy who had been clashing with Spice behind the scenes for months. Multiple cast members claimed the two had a blow-up weeks before the footage dropped. And the tension between them was palpable during filming. They weren't even speaking off camera. One production assistant spilled. If anyone had a reason to take her down, it was definitely her. But the mess didn't stop there. A second, even juicier theory started making rounds that someone from Spice's own team leaked the clip. That's right, not a rival, not a co-star, but one of the people paid to protect her brand. According to one anonymous source, a former publicist who was recently fired had access to internal footage and wanted revenge after being let go. She said Spice was arrogant and ungrateful, the source claimed. She wanted the world to see the real her. And then, just when fans thought it couldn't get any messier, a third bombshell theory dropped, one that had social media foaming at the mouth. Word was the footage wasn't leaked for revenge or clout. It was leaked as part of a bigger plan to push Spice off the show. See behind the glitz and the glam. Love and Hip Hop. Atlanta is a business, and that business is fueled by drama, ratings, and storylines. And lately, according to insiders, producers had been worried that Spice's reign as the franchise's drama queen was losing steam. A new wave of cast members was waiting in the wings, hungry for their spotlight. And some high-ups allegedly believed that removing Spice would make room for fresh storylines. Let's just say some people were ready to move on, a production insider revealed. If the footage hurt her career, that's not our problem. It's reality TV, nothing lasts forever. Fans were furious. For Spice, the betrayal cut deeper than any fan backlash or corporate fallout. This wasn't just about a leaked video anymore. It was about losing control of her image, her narrative, and her power. For the first time in her career, she wasn't the one setting the tone. Someone else was pulling the strings. She was forced to play defense. But here's the thing about Spice. Love her or hate her, she's a fighter. And as the storm continued to build around her, whispers started spreading that she wasn't just going to sit back and take it. Word is, Spice is preparing to fight back legally, publicly, and personally. And baby, when Spice fights, she fights dirty. The fallout from the leaked footage didn't just hit Spice. It sent a shockwave through Love and Hip Hop Atlanta that nobody was prepared for. Within hours of the clip surfacing online, the cast was in chaos, alliances shattered, and long-hidden grudges exploded into the public eye. What started as a scandal targeting one woman quickly became a war that exposed the entire foundation of the show, and Spice was at the center of every headline. The first sign that things had gone nuclear came from the inside. Cast members who once toasted champagne with Spice at rap parties were suddenly silent, or worse, speaking out against her. The betrayal wasn't just behind closed doors anymore. It was playing out in real time on Instagram Lives, messy subtweets, and shady podcast appearances. Yandy Smith was the first to break ranks. During a now viral interview, she didn't name Spice directly, but her words left little room for doubt. Some people love to play the victim, but the truth is they create their own storms. And then they cry when it rains. Fans knew exactly who she was talking about. Next came Erica Mena, who has never been one to hold her tongue. In a heated IG story, she called Spice a master manipulator and accused her of playing dirty for camera time. She added, "If you're gonna talk about loyalty, maybe start by looking in the mirror." The comments sent shockwaves across social media, with hashtag Team Spice and hashtag Team Erica battling it out in the comments section like it was the Super Bowl. Even Rashida Frost, who has often been the voice of reason, amid the show's chaos, weighed in with a cryptic post. "Loyalty isn't about who's real in your face. It's about who's real behind your back." It's coming from someone who's known Spice for years. That post hit harder than any insult. Meanwhile, the network was scrambling to contain the damage. Love and Hip Hop producers called an emergency cast meeting, hoping to stop the bleeding before it tanked the season. But according to insiders, the meeting quickly spiraled out of control. People were screaming, pointing fingers, threatening to quit, one source revealed. It felt less like a cast meeting and more like a courtroom trial. And at the center of it all was Spice, who refused to apologize. "I didn't leak that video," she reportedly snapped, "but I'm not going to apologize for being real." That defiance only added fuel to the fire. Castmates accused her of refusing to take accountability. One even stormed out, shouting that they were done protecting someone who doesn't even care. By the end of the meeting, the cast was split into factions, those standing with Spice, and those vowing to never film with her again. But the damage wasn't just personal. Professionally, Spice's empire was starting to crack. Brands that once fought for her endorsement deals quietly began pulling out. A major fashion collab was reportedly postponed indefinitely, and one beauty brand cut ties altogether, citing values misalignment. Meanwhile, club bookings that used to sell out in minutes suddenly weren't returning her. Teens calls. Even her music career wasn't immune. Radio stations that had her singles on heavy rotation started pulling them from playlists, fearing the backlash. A planned tour was paused, and one venue owner admitted off the record, "We just don't want that kind of controversy attached to our name right now." But perhaps the most heartbreaking blow came from the fans, the very people who built Spice into a household name. Social media was a war zone. Some fans defended her fiercely, arguing that she was being set up and that everyone was piling on unfairly. Others turned their backs completely, calling her behavior toxic, fake, and disgusting. One fan's viral comment summed up the mood perfectly. Spice built her brand on being unfiltered, but now that unfiltered energy is destroying her. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, another twist blindsided everyone. A second piece of leaked footage. This one was even more damaging, showing Spice in a heated argument where she allegedly makes explosive accusations about several cast members, including one married man. It was raw, ugly, and deeply personal. And once again, it went viral within minutes. The reaction was immediate. Lawsuits were rumored. Cease and desist letters started flying. And the Love and Hip Hop producers, they were now facing a PR nightmare of epic proportions. Behind closed doors, whispers circulated that the network was considering the unthinkable, cutting Spice from the show altogether. "It's on the table," one insider revealed. "She's become too unpredictable, too risky." For Spice, the reality was brutal. Everything she had built, her music, her brand, her fan base, her reality TV throne, was hanging by a thread. And with each new revelation, that thread frayed a little more. But if there's one thing Spice is known for, it's refusing to go down without a fight. Rumors started swirling that she was planning to tell her side of the story. A no-holds-barred sit-down interview that could either save her career or destroy it for good. Some insiders claimed she was working with a top legal team to investigate who leaked the footage. Others hinted that she had dirt on several cast members and was ready to air it all. They didn't back off. One thing was certain: the storm wasn't over. If anything, it was about to reach Category 5. And the question on everyone's mind was the same. Could Spice survive this level of betrayal? Or was this the beginning of the end of one of reality TV's most powerful reigns? By the time the fourth week rolled around after the leaked footage dropped, Spice's world was unrecognizable. What once felt like an empire built on music, personality, and a decade of reality TV dominance now felt like a ticking time bomb, seconds from exploding. Her team was in shambles. Castmates had turned into enemies. And the court of public opinion, it was split straight down the middle, with hashtags either calling for her cancellation or her redemption. But if anyone thought Spice was going to crawl away quietly, they clearly forgot who they were dealing with. Because behind the scenes, the Queen of Dancehall was plotting a comeback so explosive it could rewrite the narrative entirely. It started with a single post. Black background, white letters. I'm done being silent. Tune in tomorrow. That was all it said. No names, no explanations. But those 7 words were enough to send social media into a frenzy. Speculation ran wild. Was she dropping her own footage? Calling out the leaker? Retiring lawsuits? Fans stayed up all night refreshing her page, desperate for the next move. The next day, Spice delivered, and she did it live. The Instagram Live started with over 200,000 viewers and ballooned to nearly 1 million within minutes. And this wasn't the same Spice fans had seen in the leaked clips, angry, emotional, lashing out. This was a woman on a mission.com. Calculated, strategic. She started with a warning. You've heard their story. Now it's time you hear mine. For the next hour, Spice laid it all out. Every messy detail, every betrayal. Every lie she claimed had been told to destroy her. She revealed that she had known for weeks that someone was trying to sabotage her career. She spoke of fake friends selling stories to blogs, cowardly castmates feeding gossip to producers, and even hinted that a network executive had been part of the plot to push her off the show. But the biggest bombshell came halfway through the stream. Spice named names. She accused 2 specific cast members, one a longtime frenemy, the other a wolf in sheep's clothing, of conspiring to leak the footage in exchange for bigger storylines next season. And while she didn't present physical proof, she promised she had receipts and that they would be coming soon. The internet lost its mind. Within minutes, fan pages were flooded with breakdowns of every clue she dropped. Podcasts went live to dissect every sentence. And former castmates scrambled to issue their own statements, some denying, some deflecting, and a few doubling down on their criticism. But Spice wasn't done yet. Toward the end of her live stream, she made it clear she wasn't quitting. They tried to silence me. They tried to break me. But let me tell you something, queens don't fall. We reign. The comment section exploded with support. Even some of her harshest critics admitted one thing. No matter how you felt about Spice, you had to respect her fight, and that fight wasn't just playing out online. Word quickly spread that Spice's legal team had filed multiple cease and desist letters and was preparing defamation suits against several individuals. The ripple effects reached beyond the show. Industry insiders revealed that multiple networks and streaming platforms had already approached Spice with offers from docuseries to reality spin-offs, capitalizing on the newfound attention. One exec even called her the most talked-about woman in reality TV. But behind the fame and frenzy, Spice's inner circle revealed a more human side of the storm. She's exhausted, one friend admitted. This has taken a huge emotional toll. She's lost friends, business deals, sleep, everything, but she refuses to let them win. And maybe that's why, despite everything, the leaks, the betrayals, the brand damage, Spice's, Star didn't burn out. It simply transformed. She was no longer just a reality star or a music icon. She had become a symbol of resilience, of defiance, of refusing to be written off by the time filming resumed for the next Love and Hip Hop reunion special. The tension in the room was unbearable. Spice walked in wearing a crown, literally, and a custom gown with the word "Still Standing" stitched across the back. The message was clear: you can try to destroy me, but I'm still here. The reunion was a powder keg. Accusations flew. Apologies were demanded and refused. One cast member stormed off set. Another broke down in tears. And Spice. She remained unshaken, matching every accusation with cold, hard truth and reminding everyone watching exactly why she'd become the face of the franchise in the first place. By the end of the night, one thing was undeniable. The leaked footage might have tarnished her image, but it had also cemented her legacy. Because in a world where scandal usually destroys careers, Spice had turned hers into a movement. This wasn't the end of Spice, if anything. It was a new beginning, one forged not in music charts or reality TV ratings, but in fire, chaos, and an unbreakable will to survive. And there you have it, the scandal that shook Atlanta, shattered friendships, and nearly ended one of reality TV's most dominant reigns. But if this saga has taught us anything, it's that Spice is not a woman who bows to chaos. She owns it, flips it, and turns it into fuel. The leaked footage might have been meant to destroy her, but instead it lit a fire that's only made her more unstoppable. Still, the war is far from over. The questions we're left with are bigger than any headline. Who really leaked the footage? Was it a friend turned foe, a castmate hungry for clout, or a calculated network move to push her out? And perhaps the most important one, will Spice's next move save her legacy or change the show forever? Now it's your turn to step into the conversation. Do you believe Spice was the victim of a setup, or is this a consequence of her own messy past catching up with her? Should the cast rally behind her, or is it time for a new queen to rise in Atlanta? Drop your thoughts, theories, and hot takes in the comments below, because trust me, this story is far from over, and your voice could be the one that shapes how it unfolds next. Don't forget to like this video if you're living for the drama. Share it with your fellow reality TV addicts, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single update. The next chapter in Spice's story is already being written. New footage, new receipts, new betrayals, and when it drops, you're going to want front row seats. Stay tuned, stay messy, and remember, in the world of love and hip hop, the tea never stops brewing.